am David Jackson, and I am here with Mr. Robert and Miss Ann Smith. These are my wonderful neighbors. I'm going to ask them a couple questions regarding age, retirement, and etc. Okay, question one. What do you consider to be old age and why?
I guess since I'm the oldest, I can answer that.
Yes.
I consider it to be old age, the age in which most of your activities that you did in youth and that was consistent with age begin to wane to the point that you can't enjoy those pleasures of life that you enjoy at an early age.
Okay, Miss Ann, what do you consider
That's
to be
the attorney, the loop around answer. Age is just a number. Look at Mr. B.B. King, for instance. He is 88, going on 89 years old, and going strong. I'm young. I'm still in my 50s. I'm young. But age is just a number. You can't really put a number on aging. It's basically just a number. If I had to throw out a number, BB, forgive me, 80.
All right. Speaking of numbers, what exactly is your number, Miss Ann?
56.
Exactly is your number, Mr. Robert.
68.
All right. What type of things are you doing to live a healthier life now?
Well, I've moderated my lifestyle sufficiently
Thanks to the
due to my decline in health. I'm diabetic. I have high blood pressure and some other minor health problems. A lot of those can be attributed to a lifestyle in my youth, which was not conscious of what I was doing, like proper eating, and I was a social drinker. And thank God I stopped smoking 30 years ago. So when I pass away, hopefully I won't die of lung cancer. I have good lungs, but I've made those choices. I'm beginning to make those choices now. I've moderated my lifestyle, and even though it's in later years, and I had hoped to have wished I had done it earlier, but it's never too late to add to the years that you have left in life.
Well, as a youngster, you know, you're going to eat fast food, but as you get a little older, you start to eat a healthier lifestyle. My grandmother was Italian, so we ate a lot of vegetables anyway. Thank you, Grandma. But with him, when we got married, found out he was diabetic, we started to moderate our lifestyle then. We were walking, we were doing a lot of things. Moderate your eating habits, walk, exercise, stay moving. Even if you, like right now, he has a bad knee. Walk in the house, just keep moving.
Okay, well, you've already started to add. You already started to answer some of the third question. Now,
Okay.
What do you think you should do in the future to live a healthier life?
Just continue eating the right foods. You can fudge a little, but eat the right foods. If you can't, like, play sports, walk. But I still play a little basketball.
Well, I consider what I'm at my age, 68. I'm very aware of the fact that as you get older, you have to not only moderate your lifestyle, but you got to do things consistent with your age. I've come to the realization that I can't do things that I could do 20 years ago, but I can't do things that I could do 3 or 4 years ago. So as I get older, I moderate sufficiently to compensate, for my lifestyle. And I think if you do that, and you have basic healthy eating habits and exercise, I moderate my exercises and I moderate my eating style that will be consistent with my age, and hopefully it will give me more longevity.
Okay. This will also go into question 4. How old do you expect to live and why?
Okay, I hope to live as old as my grandmother. She lived to be 89 years old, and she was in excellent health until she reached the age of 88. because my people in my family, my mother only lived to be 68, but she had colon cancer. People get the colon test. It will save your life. My father died at 81. One of my aunts died at 93. So I'm figuring average 88 maybe, 89.
Well, at 68, naturally, as you get closer to the number that you originally thought was old when you was young, you push the goalpost back.
Yeah.
I would say now 80 would be a good, or in my 80s would be a good age. At one point in my life, the 60s, the 70s sound good, but at 68, I have to push that goalpost back for now. I think if I could live to at least get 80, I would think I would be well blessed. And given the fact that the lifestyle that I've lived, I'm aware that it contributed a lot to that. Like Ann had indicated in her family, the doctor told me something that was very significant when I took a battery of tests and I found out I was diabetic. He said, Mr. Smith, do you know you have a Methuselah gene? Now, Methuselah, he was the longest liver in the Bible. So theoretically, genetically, I guess my DNA is such that had I taken proper care of my body for years, and I could have lived, who knows, to be a centenarian. But given the fact that I didn't, I'm hoping that Methuselah gene will at least give me 80 years on this earth.
You guys are, then again, you've already led into question 5.
Uh-oh.
On average, how old have your family members lived? What conditions and age contributed to their sickness and death of your family?
Well, you know about my mother with colon cancer. My father smoked. He started smoking when he was 16. He quit smoking when he was 76. So that's 60 years of smoking. Heart disease and stroke got my father. Kids, quit smoking. It's bad for you, trust me. My grandmother never smoked a day in her life. She lived to be 89. My aunt, 90, 92, 93.
Well, my father, he lived to get into his latter 70s. My mother was in her latter 70s. And I attribute both of their death to heart trouble. My father, he had smoked all his life. And during the time that he would smoke, they didn't have filter cigarettes. As a little boy, I used to go to the store and get him Lucky Strikes. That's those strong. Then he switched to Pall Mall. And he had smoked all his life. But my mother, she never smoked. However, she did consume tobacco in the form of snuff. And she attributed that to me because she said when she was pregnant carrying me, she was just in a tizzy, and one of her co-workers told her name was Earl, take some of this, put a pinch between your cheek and your gum, and it help you while you're pregnant. So I take responsibility for her doing stuff. But also my parents worked very hard because during the time my mother was born in 1908, she was a domestic. My father, he did common labor and he worked in construction. So the combination of the hard work and the hard time, they came through the Depression, and the mortality rate, the lifespan during that time was sufficiently lower than it is today. So, and given the environmental factors and, life of improvement in health and stuff for treatment, that it's 70s, the latter 70s, but they lived a long life according to their age, the times they grew up. But I had a great grandmother who was her mother was a slave, grandma, I call her. She lived way in her 90s, and she dipped snuff for over 50 years. And sometimes it's just due to the genetic makeup and just the a lot of factors. But that's, I say they live a long, full, fruitful life.
Thank you. What type of activities do you see yourself doing as you progress in the age in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, etc.?
Well, I know right now, being that I was hit from behind by a drunk driver in '98, I can't play basketball. I still try, I can shoot, but I can't really play like I used to. So basically, the stuff that I used to do, I cannot do anymore, run track, play basketball. It'll probably just be the walking and light weights that works best for me.
Well, for me, the things that I used to do, I was severely hampered from doing it due to my health. My hobby used to be reading, music, and reading. And I have low vision. Legally, I'm considered blind. I cannot read small print. That's the reason I had to leave my profession. And I have the left ear I can hardly hear out of. It's service connected. So what I do now, I watch TV and I listen to music. I have one good right ear and one halfway good eye. So I'm halfway there. And the activities that I used to consider menial when I come from work are now, consuming. Even at my age, getting out of bed sometimes can be a monumental task when you have a real physical problem when it used to be something that was very menial. So, but most of my day is taken up, believe it or not, just daily activities, watching TV. My wife and I, I'll accompany her sometimes shopping or other things because I want to keep active. Yeah, and occasionally we'll take her to movie theater, and naturally, when we can, we worship and go to church. And those are my activities now, so I'm more or less, domesticated home in that sense.
You've been domesticated.
Women tend to do that.
Yes, they do. Okay, and what do you wish you had done in the youth when you were younger in areas of health, finance, education, along those lines?
I wish I could have gone to college. I was not able to go to college. I didn't have the opportunity to go. And I would have loved to have gone to college. That alone goes with the finances, of course. So that's where I stand. Right?
Well, for its education, I accomplished what I wanted to be all along. I wanted to be a lawyer, and I accomplished that. The opportunity wasn't there. I couldn't even go to college when I finished high school. I had neither the resources nor was the opportunity to go available to me. I grew up in Alabama. I was born in 1945 in a segregated system, and there was a college about 7 to 10 miles from me, but it was all white. Closest black college was about 2-hour drive. So, but that didn't deter me. So educationally, I have no gripes. Now, health-wise, if I wish I had become a vegetarian at an early age. Now, when I was first introduced to it, I was in law school. I had one of my roommates, we rented an apartment, and he was a vegetarian. And he tried to tell me, said, Robert, you should become a vegetarian. But at that time, I thought, I was meat and potatoes. And I didn't know the value of it. But now I realize that could possibly add years to my life, and I could have been healthier. Now, for his finance, I wish I had been more prudent with my finances, because I look at the money that I made and look at the money that I wasted. Now, I didn't make a lot of money to become rich, but if I had been prudent the money I made, I perhaps could have become rich. I was 62. My health forced me into retirement. That was a forced retirement. I had really anticipated practicing law, and, so I wasn't able to practice anymore. But given the fact that I had poor eyesight and my health was failing, I felt that I could no longer render the service, quality of service to my clients, because lawyers have to read the fine print. And if you have problem reading big print, your client would be in a lot of trouble. If you represent them, you couldn't really give the quality of service. And I recognize that. Even though you have other people working for you, I've always checked, even my secretary, I wouldn't totally rely on them. I would double check my work, double check. And I knew at that time, at 62, I said, well, it's at least it's an age. And I looked back, I had practiced law for about 30 years. I had done what I wanted to do. I was in law enforcement for a while. I had a distinguished career. I worked for the federal government. I worked for the Secret Service 5.5 years. And I graduated from fairly good school, American University in Washington, D.C., and the law school at Southern University. So the accomplishments that I made, from which I came, my humble life, I'm really proud of it, and I really have no regrets. But it goes to prove that if you want it, it's there. America is the land of opportunity, and there are no excuses for not succeeding.
And with that right there, thank you guys very much for introducing Don with me early this morning. Thank you very much, sir. Again, this is Mr. and Mrs. Ann and Robert Smith. Thank you.